Have you noticed lately DoorDash worry-free on the sign is no longer available? Well, some Dashers are reporting it's just gone, and Dashers are outraged. The one feature we all love and actually helps us is not there. But is it because Dashers are abusing the system? Now, as of yesterday, this is available in my market because I just did one last night. However, it wasn't 10 minutes. It was more like 12 minutes before it appeared, but many Dashers are reporting it is just gone. And they have to wait 30 minutes, 40 minutes for a restaurant, and it still never pops up. Drivers are raging over this, and can you honestly blame them? Has this happened in your market? Go ahead, let me know. I'm trying to figure out which markets this actually did affect. So those of you who don't know what worry-free on a sign is, it's when you wait at a restaurant for more than 10 minutes and then you can go and unassign the order, but DoorDash will tell you that it's worry-free and it won't affect your cancellation rate. This was a huge win when they rolled this out for all drivers because nothing is more frustrating than waiting for a restaurant for more than 10 minutes unless you're on earned by time, because time is money, and if you're wasting time, you're definitely not making money. So why was this feature so important to all of us Dashers? Well, besides us not waiting at a restaurant any longer than what we really need to, but the bigger thing is what was it, over a year ago, DoorDash decided to raise the cancellation rate to 90%. So now you don't have as many cancels to use in order to get out of a wait from a restaurant. That's why when this happens, you're waiting at a restaurant, 10 minutes, you're out. It doesn't affect your cancellation rate, and you can move on and still make money, which is why it has become one of the most useful features we have as Dashers. Who wants to wait at a restaurant? I know I don't, especially if you're on an order and let's say it's like a $5 order, maybe it's going 1 mile, but do you want to wait more than 10 minutes? Is it really worth your time waiting that long to complete $5 at that point? It's not. I would rather use the worry-free on the sign, cut my losses, and move on to the next order, knowing that it really didn't affect anything. It was kind of like, whew, okay, get out free jail card if you want to call it, but it ends up with that feature. You can honestly be continuing to make money opposed to waiting at a restaurant and slowing the amount of money that you're actually making. So what is really happening? What's going on? Well, a lot of Dashers have been telling me, and also it's been on a lot of groups, a lot of social media, that it literally is not there any longer. A lot of Dashers have been going to cancel their orders, and poof, it still says your acceptance rate will be affected if you cancel this order. Some Dashers are reporting waiting 20 minutes. Some Dashers are reporting waiting 30 minutes. There was another Dasher in another post waited 40 minutes and it still never popped up. So is it gone forever? Well, according to people in the markets that it affects, they've done it before and it's still not there. So how upset would you be if worry-free on a sign completely went away and it's just gone? I know for me, I can talk about myself. I would be upset because do I abuse it? No, not at all. But I use it strategically when I really am waiting at a restaurant for a long period of time. I don't want to stand there more than 10 minutes wasting my time. I feel like that's why we're out here working. So if that went away in my market, I honestly would be really seriously upset, and I'd be like, DoorDash, like, this is the one feature that really helps DoorDash drivers every single day we're out on the road. And let's even talk about those markets. It's not in my market, but there's a lot of markets that have the on-time rate now. If you can't cancel and you can't use the worry-free unassigned, that affects your on-time rating. Is that their end game? They don't want as many platinum drivers out on the road, so let's take this away too? Like, to me, that makes no sense. For those who have waited for long periods of time, this would be my advice. Use your cancellations wisely and use them in those circumstances if this isn't in your market. I have a feeling if this goes away, there's going to be a lot more dashers that are closer to that 90% mark than there ever has been before. So there's a question out there: if you have too many worry-free unassigns, will DoorDash take it away from you? Well, there's a rumor going on that if you keep unassigning orders using the worry-free cancellation, then DoorDash will cut you off from using that feature. Could that be? Maybe. I don't know the inner workings, but it wouldn't surprise me. I think the feature is designed to help dashers out in case you are waiting at restaurants. But if DoorDash sees that you are constantly doing it on almost every single order, it kind of does a red flag in the system that says, hey, this dasher might be doing something wrong, and then they can cut you off from the feature. It's definitely a possibility. I don't know how true it is. I don't know if there's validity behind it, but to me, it kind of makes sense if that's the case. But in what I'm talking about today is it's just not one dasher complaining about this. There are lots of dashers in lots of markets saying that it no longer exists. So let me ask you, have you noticed worry-free unassigned going away? Has it not been available in your market? And do you think there's a reason behind it? So another theory out there in the DoorDash community are dashers abusing the worry-free unassigned system, and are they to blame for this going away? Now, there have been rumors that dashers are using worry-free unassigns to boost their acceptance rates. What dashers are doing is, and believe me, I am not condoning this behavior. I'm just reporting what people are doing. A lot of people are taking orders that they really don't want to take, and then they wait to 10 minutes and cancel the order during a worry-free unassigned once they get to the restaurant in order to save their acceptance rate. I don't know, to me that sounds like a big, huge waste of time when you could have just taken the order and gotten it done and still got money out of it and still moved on to the next order, especially if it is a low-mile order and you're in, out, and done. I don't know. I don't see the reasoning behind this. At least that's just me. But is this a classic case of a couple bad apples that ruin it for the rest of us? Could there be dashers abusing the system? Yes. I always feel like there's always workarounds to everything in the DoorDash system. Somebody probably found something at some time. And in normal terms, DoorDash would consider that fraud. So maybe DoorDash said, hey, there's too much of that going on. Let's take away this feature and see what happens and see whether the dashers can live without it, especially if it is affecting the way that the app runs or the app is getting orders delivered. Don't forget, and this is from customer and DoorDash perspective, every time a dasher cancels an order, it takes time for it to be sent to another dasher, and then time for another dasher to get to the restaurant and then deliver the order. So the customer's food could arrive not hot, it could arrive cold, and a lot of it could be because a restaurant is delayed, but a lot of it could be the driver's fault as well for unassigning orders unnecessary, which means DoorDash isn't getting orders delivered. Customers are upset because they're not getting the food that they are expecting, and it's a whole snowball effect, and then poof, it goes away. It's all a cause and effect. So could some dashers be to blame for this? Possibly. The minute that DoorDash detects that they're losing money somehow, or it's affecting the way that orders are being delivered to customers, That's a big issue, at least I would think, according to DoorDash. Let me ask you, what do you think is a reason why worry-free unassigned is disappearing from certain markets? And has this affected you in your own market? It's crazy. It's craziness because to me, this is one of my favorite features. And if it went away, I would be really upset. You know, this feature is going away in some markets, but in other markets, they got a new update to the payout screen. If you want to learn all about the new update, you're going to want to check this video out next, and I'll see you for that.